Hey everyone, this is Jason with Modern Money Method, and I wanted to come to you today with just a real quick video here because it's very imminent. Obviously, the way the stock market is behaving, the bond market is behaving, they are signaling a major slowdown. Um, I'd say recession plus. And what I want to talk to you about real quick is some of you may or may not know. Ever since at a very young age, about 12, I've been following and researching on my own financial and investment charts. So I've got a little over 40 years, and it's something I do as a very serious hobby, and I've even done it as a career. So I would say I'm somewhere in between the 50,000 and 100,000 hours I have invested of my life in researching these things. And if the government does not step in, I am not wanting the government to, but if they do not step in with monetary easing and handing out trillions again, we are on the doorstep of something major, and a doorstep of falling down. And what I want to talk to you about is there's about 20 economic indicators that people can follow to have a barometer of what is coming in the future. And now you can't always predict really far out, honestly, especially with how the government behaves now with these insane bailouts and rules and all those things. You used to be able to used to be easier to forecast out 2 years. I would say you really can't do more than 3 to 6 months now. So I'm just looking 3 to 6 months forward. And what is really important is out of those 20 indicators, we could spend hours talking about them, or we could just focus on 2 of the biggest ones. And every time that crude oil has increased by 50% or more in a year, a recession has followed within months. And what makes this important is that's 50% in a year. And what I want to show here is we have oil back here at $60. And we actually hit, I thought we got closer to 90 in here. It's showing 80, but maybe not. So we did not hit the 50% increase till in February. But now we've gone up almost 100%. So not only do we have the 50% in a year, we have almost 100%. And this leads to a recession. And this occurred in February. So we're already in May. So we are 3 months out. This is one of the greatest indicators that you can look back on, no matter where oil prices are. And the reason is not only because it costs money at the pump. Oil is in everything, type of manufacturing, making of products. You need oil to make plastic products and packaging and wrapping. It feeds over into diesel and it feeds over into transportation. So it affects many aspects of the economy. The other one that is a indicator that has basically 95% of the time predicted recessions within just a few months is the inversion of the yield curve. And it got touted that it only lasted a day, maybe 2 days. That is the point. The yield curve inverting is a very rare occurrence. And we're actually on the doorstep of it doing it again because longer term yields are coming down right now. And what that is showing is there's a massive flight to safety by money. Money is exiting risky investments, stocks, and volatile items and moving into the US dollar and treasuries. So could spend days explaining why this is important. But this occurred back in March as well. We had the 2-year and the 10-year. Now you can also look at the 5 and the 30. That is what is about ready to invert for a second time. And this is where you have the yield on the shorter term treasury exceeding the longer term. And so this is a little article about it here explaining it, what occurred. The 10-year fell to 2.33 and the 2-year was almost at 2.34. And people go, oh, well, barely inverted. Yeah, it doesn't invert by a lot. If it inverts by a lot, then you got major issues. Just it getting down to the inversion level is a sign that slowing is coming. And now here's one that really slipped by the radar that was reported just a few weeks ago. And this is U.S. worker production. And this just got glossed over like you would not believe. It was from, I guess, a week ago. Worker productivity sees its biggest drop since 1947. I mean, we're talking 75 years. And the reason that 1947 was important was because the economy was sputtering throughout the 30s. And then the war started. Curious combination there. And after the war, then the economy, a lot of expansion was coming out of the economy. And basically, people wanted to relax more. They were tired of working 50-hour weeks and all those things. Because this is about productivity based on an hourly input. And maybe a lot of you happen to notice, like me, that I swear the entire world, at least my Facebook world and Instagram and those, I swear everybody in February and March was on vacation, maybe the whole time. So I had this thought that I was like, man, is anybody working? And, you know, that vacations are great and we need them after, especially what we've been through. But the problem is things did not get done, work did not get done, and things did not get produced. So right here, non-farm productivity, which measures worker output against the hours worked, sank 7.5% from January through March. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is a number that runs positive at all times, generally in the 1, 2, 3% range, not negative 7.5. Even as overall hours worked decreased 5.5%. So hours worked decreased in the quarter. Output by the American worker dropped another 2.4%. So at the same time, business unit labor costs, how much an average business pays its workers to produce a unit of output, increased by 11.6%, the most since 1982, as hourly compensation rose 3.2%. So basically, people are being paid more to do less. And we already had a recession, in my mind, is when the economy is shrinking. We're already there. It's not an official recession unless it is back-to-back quarters. Well, let me tell you, people, if we already had a shrinking economy in the first quarter, right here, it even says right here, but experts say the productivity drop wasn't due to Americans taking more coffee breaks and phoning in at work. Yeah, they were on vacation. Everybody was in Hawaii, Mexico, and Arizona, and Florida. The poor numbers were really a result of the 1.4% decline in the gross domestic product. So our economy shrunk in the first quarter. And if you don't believe that in April, even less was being done, so we are already into the second quarter and it is shrinking. And the reason it's important to be on the front end of this is the economy, here's what occurs. The stock market starts to correct. That started in November and December. This is how it always goes. The economy shrinks a little bit. Right here, minus 1.4% in January through March. Then what occurs is then the real pain starts to hit home, where layoffs occur. I'm telling you, folks, we have layoffs coming. They are going to be coming in the next few months. Companies are not going to be able to handle this profit-wise. So this is another good article that we have about productivity. Another sign, I know I keep going back to this Northwest multiple listing service only because I have tracked it for a couple decades. And I want to show you something that I think is really important. So think, this area has actually grown in the last 20 years. Okay, so there is significantly more people and more houses here than 20 years ago. And what makes that important is these comparisons year over year should be going up every year. Them going down is even a bigger deal than them not going up, because the population has increased. Now, I don't know exactly how much, but I would guesstimate from the last housing downturn that the population has probably increased somewhere between 15 and 20% here. So that means in a month where 6,000 homes sold in a month, now the same amount of economic activity would be 7,000 homes because there's 15% more people. And what I want to show here is we have some really low numbers coming in for 2022. We have 4,400 pending sales in January in this 4-county region. And you go all the way back to 2003, and it was 4,700, 4,500. Look at even in 05 and 06, even 07, we got 5,000s, 48. The last time that it was this low, 4,400 in January, it was during the housing crash when nobody was buying. 2008 to 2011 there. Ever since then, the January numbers have been in the 5,000s. So this is a significant drop off. We're talking this is a 20% drop off from norm. And we have something similar that occurred right here in April. We had a number of 6,908. And if you look back, obviously this year, 2020, we had stuff going on. But before that, we're in the 7s and 8s, except for the housing crash. Even in the housing crash, we had 1 year better. We had a 73. But if you go back to before the housing crash, these numbers, April should be in the 7s and 8,000s right here. We're talking almost 20 years later, and we're selling 1,000 houses less. This is slowing down. I think people got pent up demand, definitely kind of got in front of itself, and people bought a ton of things, got prepared for stuff, did stuff they wanted to do around their houses. A lot of future demand, 2022, 2023, 2024 demand was pulled into this last year, 2021. And that's why it just seemed like everything was booming. So prepare yourself for a slowdown, possibly a major slowdown. Get your financial house in order. If you want to reach out to me, you can. You can find me. I'm all over the internet, and you can reach out to me in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and please comment. I would love to chat with everybody in there. And if you want to talk to me personally, reach out to me for that too. All right, you guys, make it a fantastic day.